In my last video, I showed off an Ethiopian meal and talked a bit about the history and characteristics of the cuisine. In this video, I wanted to show and talk about some of the ingredients that I use to make that meal. First up are two ingredients that I didn't mention at all by name, Niter Kibbeh and Berbere. Berbere is a beautiful spice mix that includes things like cinnamon, fenugreek, chili pepper, and besobela or Ethiopian sacred basil. You'll find different variations of this spice blend across the different regions of Ethiopia. You'll find variations family to family and even for application to application. The variation that I am making here includes things like black pepper, turmeric, and paprika for a really fun punch of color. I will note that you don't necessarily have to make this yourself. You can buy this from companies like Brendo, which I really like, but I've personally found it really fun to explore all the different variations out there. Next up is Niter Kibbeh. This is a seasoned clarified butter that is made by simmering the butter with spices and aromatics like onion, fenugreek, ginger, and more. Again, you can find a ton of variations on this, and it's typically the very first thing that goes into the pot or pan when you're cooking. You can use ghee or vegetable oil, but the intense flavor that comes from using this, that aromatic boost, is 1,000% worth it. Because of Ethiopia's location on the Horn of Africa, it's historically been connected to major trade routes like the Silk Road. The Indian subcontinent, the Roman Empire, the Middle East all have imparted flavor, technique, and ideas, as Ethiopia has done the same right back. That's why when you look at ingredients like Niter Kibbeh and Berbere spice, you might recognize some of these ingredients from other countries and cultures, but then other aspects of it are distinctly Ethiopian. Lastly is honestly one of my nemeses, Injera. I love Injera, but I have been making sourdough for nearly 15 years now, and every single time it beats me. It's made out of teff flour, which comes in two colors, dark or light, and it is an incredible grain. It's high in fiber and protein, is naturally gluten-free. The batter is made by mixing the teff flour with water and salt, and then letting it ferment for up to 48 hours. After that, you then cook it into these beautiful thin crepes that can be used as both a plate and a utensil to eat. It's tangy and rich. I genuinely love it. I failed again to make it though. I don't think I've succeeded thus far. In my case, unfortunately, after the 48-hour period was done, I saw that there was some mold and I could tell that the smell just wasn't right. So I ran to my closest Ethiopian grocery store and picked up a pack of already made Injera. I actually picked out one from a local bakery entirely based on the name. It's called Nahom, and I happen to know somebody who is Eritrean with that name. Making these ingredients are not essential for being able to make Ethiopian dishes. You can absolutely buy already made versions or find simpler substitutes for some of these ingredients. However, if you do have that luxury of time or you're curious, I highly recommend spending that moment to make these ingredients. I find that when you take the time to make the simpler things, it brings you that much closer to the cuisine and helps you really appreciate the little details. The smell of Niter Kibbeh melting down in the pan and how it marries together with Berbere spice and onions and all kinds of beautiful ingredients. It's really important for learning how to respect these cuisines. As always, in my bio, there's a link to my website in which you'll find all the recipes I use to make things like Niter Kibbeh, Berbere, and if you're brave, Injera, as well as some resources on where to get these ingredients if making is just not something that you're interested in or do not have the time or ability to do. In the meantime, remember, there's a whole world waiting for you in the kitchen.